Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hello again, everyone. My name is Sarah, and welcome back to Side Quest. For those who don't know me, I am a freelance writer, disabled gamer, and advocate for all things mental health in the gaming industry, which is why I was so honored to be asked back, because today we are discussing my love for Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice, and how, up till now, it's the best representation of mental health in gaming. For those who are not aware, Hellblade follows a Celtic warrior named Senua as you travel to the Norse land of Hell to find the soul of her lost lover. But things aren't all as they seem. Early on, it's very clear that Senua isn't your normal protagonist. There's a narrator following her adventures, but she can also hear it. There are voices following Senua and commentating on her near every move. See, Senua suffers from multiple mental health issues, mainly psychosis and PTSD. But again, unlike most games that handle their mentally ill main characters with such a heavy hand, Hellblade does it differently. We are shown Senua's breakdowns, her mental breaks, and how she reacts to the world around her, with her mental health seemingly against her from the start. Quieting the voices, using the world around her to create hell and its multitude of puzzles and horrors. Yes, if I didn't mention this early on, I will be diving into spoilers for this podcast, if only to discuss Hellblade's important aspect of how it handles its story, which is how Senua herself is portrayed, and why this game means so much to me. See, when games in the past have had characters with mental illness, they're seen as obviously not sane of mind people. They're ostracized by the game's world and other characters, or no one wishes to interact with them. The player is told, through an outdated term, they are crazy and are just meant to accept that. As someone with mental health issues such as severe anxiety and more, this was disheartening. I never saw a game protagonist that acted the way I did or handled my mental health the way I did. It was scary to know a medium I loved so much wanted to portray what was a daily occurrence to me as something to be feared and made fun of. But Hellblade doesn't do that. While yes, Senua is punished by her peers for hearing voices and for breakdowns that the people in her tribe do not understand, she's also shown as powerful, choosing in her time of grief and mental anguish to travel to hell to save the one she loves. She has moments of weakness throughout the story. Senua is shown as powerful, and as she comes to terms with her internal struggles and learn to overcome them as she can. Obviously, that isn't everyone's story, and Hellblade is, of course, a video game. But for the first time, I had witnessed a character who, through struggling with the same mental health issues I did at the time, was shown to be powerful and had the strength to overcome. It allowed me to see someone like me in a game when I just hadn't before. Senua's story was never about traveling to hell to save her lover. It was about using his death as a catalyst for her own rise and her own strength. And even her lover, Dylan, is a great representation on a loved one of someone with mental illness. He protects her from the mobs, he comforts her even when he is told she has derogatory terms, such as a monster and a witch. All of which taken from the ignorance of people of a time period where the term mental health didn't even exist. While I myself do not suffer from psychosis, my life has been riddled with the side effects of PTSD, both mental and physical. The outcast that Senua felt like, the way people treated her, is all something I can relate to. Being that kid who had no idea what was wrong, but knew something was. Never seen people that acted like me portrayed in a good light did something to me mentally. It changed me for a time, showing me that I was meant to be an outcast and seen as such. Even into my 20s and my PTSD diagnosis came, I felt weird. Different never left. But as I got around to playing Hellblade, I saw a character who acted just like me, felt the same self-doubt and negativity that I did. But instead of witnessing her being ostracized and never giving the proper ending, she did. It was an ending of hope and renewal, one of a bright mountain landscape and a sense of beginning again. And as the narrator says at the end, this is where my story once began, and so it has to end here, because I cannot see further than this. And finally, Senua herself looks to the camera and says, "Come with us. There are more stories to tell." Gaming has never represented mental health in a way best as I witnessed it in Hellblade. I've never witnessed myself in a character more than I've witnessed myself in Senua. I can't begin to describe how it felt hearing my friends play the game and tell me, "I know how it is for you. I know how it feels like for you now." To be able to understand, even if just a little bit, what I go through on a daily basis. And it felt amazing to see a character who acted just like me portrayed in such a way that made her heroic and powerful and strong. To end this, I really don't have much else to say, but if you haven't gotten the chance to play Hellblade, I highly suggest doing so. It's powerful, it's not for the faint of heart, and the game even ends with a screen that says if you have felt anything from this game, if you have felt the things that Senua has, it then leads to a link for you to find a therapist in your area, to find someone to talk to. And I think that's what it's what's most important for us, to find out who we are from the medium that we love. So to see someone portrayed as us in the medium that we care so much about. I'm just going to end this by saying happy gaming, everyone. And I hope that you find yourself as well.
So, I have a question. Have you ever wanted to get into comics but you just didn't know where to start? Well, welcome to Comics Quest. I'm JD Martin, and every week I sit down with a guest to talk a comic that I think anybody can pick up and start their comics reading journey. We take a look at psychedelic sci-fi, fantastical action, heart-wrenching love stories, and of course, superheroes. So check us out at certainpov.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.